We go.
Well, good evening, Frankmeisters. How's it going on? Look who's in the house with me today. Ruckus.
Whoa, what the fuck was that?
And we got Miss Kristin from behind the crime door. Welcome aboard,
everybody.
Guys. How are you guys doing?
I was trying to pop them with my cigar as they were coming.
It's good to see your face live on my panel since you've had your surgery.
Thank you.
I've kept an eye on you and checked in on you.
Yes, you have.
Yes, ma'am. And Ruckus, bald ass, I talk to him every day just about like I do with you. So
I talk to you as much as I talk to my wife.
Oh yeah, right.
As long as you're not talking to him while you're laying next to her, I'm good with that.
Right.
He's got the bourbon going. What's going on, Frankmeisters? How's everybody doing? It's been a few weeks since I've seen everybody. I thought I'd do a little bit of a show tonight with my two compadres here, Kristin and Ruckus. Just catch up on the current events, the latest events that's been going on in the Delphi case, and that's why we're here to have a little powwow. Let's give a shout out to the people that's in the chat that are here so far. We got Mary Fleener. It's good to see you. Gail Hurd. Rescue. Nice to see you. She Warrior. 6-3 Clocks. We got the Red Queen. We got Night Shadow. Miss Deb, True Crime Notebook. Good to see you. Sawyer Smith. Karen Bentley. Brandon Berrigree. Mustang. Melissa Wildcard. Carol Murray. Hey, good to see everybody jumping in here. Let's see who else we got jumping in.
This is the cool kids table.
Yeah.
Olivia too.
Rescue says no spiders or snake talk tonight.
You know what? Give me a few minutes of coaching. You can become a mod. Let's see. We got V. Marie. It's good to see you. GP. Nice to see you. Phil Bond. Thanks for the ice cream. That was delicious shake. That strawberry shake at her family ice cream stand that they have in Wabash or Peru.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Pam Hurst. Good to see you. Angela Van Oven. Jerry Mayo. Scott Daly. D. Ashley. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Wander from Missouri. Joe Newman, there you are, buddy. You keep asking me about Alive, and here we are, bro. Leslie Kingston, Miranda Lee, Jinx. Who we got? Who's this? CC Shakes.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh, I know who it is. Think of the first name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, hey. Hi, Hannah.
How are you, Hannah?
Good to see you. Glad you're here with us.
Susie, good to see you. Kentucky Sleuth Angel, good to see you. Let's see, Delphi Dummies. What's going on, bro? See Through. Truth and Justice Channel, good to see you, hon. Thanks for stopping in.
V. Marie asked what kind of bourbon I'm drinking. It's actually Irish whiskey, and it's the worst kind.
Rob Lee,
Empty.
Miranda Lee, member
Empty.
for 1 month. Thank you, Miranda. The red, we already got the Red Queen. Let's see, we got Piper's Dream.
Ruckus, you and I'll have
Rocks.
to have a single malt together sometime soon.
Hey, I like Irish car bombs, honestly.
I'm a
Roxy.
single malt girl, and I love a good Scottish single malt.
If you're talking malt, I'm talking like English 8-ball. You're talking Colt 45. Witchcraft. Good to see you.
I'm not talking about single malt beer.
Okay. That's what I was thinking of. Melissa Balboa. Laura, good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
But people always ask what I'm drinking and what I'm smoking. And I just thought it was a whiskey and cigar channel.
Good to see you, Jamie. Robin B, good to see you. Well, Lakeside Justice. We got a drinker and a smoker, but we don't have it. Never mind. I'll just.
Easy.
Calm down now. We got to keep this show on family channel.
Hey, you know I do all that backstage. Amelia Lavender.
I'm just saying, we're family channel. Let's not get in trouble. Last time we did.
I think I got everybody so far. So we could just dib into dive into the latest filings that's been going on with the defense, and then you got Nick's rebuttal coming back right behind it. And then we had them filing for the leave of court, which she approved today. And, you know, it's so funny is that.
What did she approve today? I was sleeping.
Go get the Rushville Police records on Todd Click.
Okay.
The subpoena.
Yeah, subpoena.
Did I hear that she actually ordered no cameras for the trial?
Yes.
I
she
thought
sure
so.
did. Yes.
Now, that subpoena, I don't know if that includes his mental health records. I don't think it does. That's just from the police department. Now, if they make mention of mental health issues, that's fair game.
Right.
I think they're more looking at Brady violations. Right,
exactly. I mean, like he said in the heading, or a heading that one of the radio stations here in Indiana had posted said that Nick believes that he's been basically a compulsive liar multiple times, and he wants to find this stuff in his records apparently, where he falsified.
Well, it sucks that they have to do that kind of stuff.
I know.
They're attacking his
credibility,
integrity.
and his integrity.
Oh yeah,
and it's sad that you have to do that, but both sides do it. It's happened to me. Me and LA talked about that last night too.
You think about it. He was all on the Odin side at one point, and then all of a sudden he came out and said, "No, us and this person don't believe it was Odinism." Then he gets into court, the last hearing, and just bashes the hell out of Holman.
Not to interrupt you, Frank, I'm sorry, but when you have this conglomerate of crazy that is encasing this whole case,
right?
People that don't have a pot to piss in, so to speak, when it comes to what they're trying to defend, they go after you personally. They go after who you are, and even they may not even know you from anyone, but they're just going to attack. And I think that happens in the professional world as well, to some degree. You're going to see that back and forth with them attacking McClelland and saying this about him, and them saying, but I mean, I think Nick's done a really good job of trying to lay low and not put anything out about the defense.
I would have to agree.
I think he's done a really good job of keeping everything in motions to the court and not attacking them, except for their inability to defend their client the way they should be.
I mean, think about this, it's It's just so damn funny. The situation with them is like every time either they're going through discovery or Nick finds new discovery and he turns it over. What the hell are they doing the next day? They're filing motion or sanction saying he violated this, and this over the discovery. And then they openly admitted that they're not even close to going through the discovery that they already had, not saying what they just got.
They admitted in the motion that they did a few days ago that they don't look at every page of the discovery.
Yeah, exactly.
What attorneys do you want representing you guys? Come on, guys. If you're up against a double murder charge and you've got attorneys that aren't looking at every single piece of paper that comes through their desk as discovery, and they're not looking at it, what does that say to you about them?
Well, this opinion is mine and mine alone. Nothing to do with Frank or Kristin. They're not looking at everything because they know he's fucking guilty.
Well, I totally agree.
They don't have to waste their time anymore.
They're just dragging it out to get notoriety. And like we've all been saying for months, they're trying to infect the jury pool with all this nonsense going in thinking, well, damn, this was set up because I just don't see how they're going to have a jury that has not heard of this case.
They won't. They will have the jurors that have heard of the case, but the court will put forth questions to them. Can you put aside everything that you have heard or know about this case and only consider the evidence that is presented to you in court, period? And they have to be able to answer that. Yes, they will. And they are able to do so. And they have to do that, of course, under oath. So
you can do this behind your back, even under oath.
I mean, what do you think are the chances?
I totally get that. I totally understand that. But I think more people have integrity than we like to give them credit for when it comes to this kind of thing. Because there are people that do everything in their brother to jump out of jury duty that don't want to do it, and then there's those that really do want to do jury duty and try to do a good job. I don't know that I would want to sit on a jury where a man's life was at stake. I don't know how I feel about that, really. Part of me says I could do it, but there's another part of me that says, man, that's a heavy burden to have. Sure.
I mean, I was a foreman on a jury one time, and it was a C felony intimidation charge. That's pretty serious charges in the state of Indiana. The maximum sentence, 8 years in prison if convicted. And I learned real quick with that experience, it's all about documentation when you're sitting in that jury box. Everybody else is just sitting there twiddling their thumbs and shit. I'm thinking to myself, this guy's 8 years of his life could be wasted right here if he gets convicted. And you guys are just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, and I'm sitting there taking note after note after note after note. And then we get back into the jury room, and they automatically pick me because I took all the notes. But what was so frustrating is that these people, they were just ready to get the hell out of there. And I'm like, no, this is not how it works, guys. They were trying to
you've got jurors falling asleep during jury trials. That can get you removed. That'll get you removed from a jury quicker than not, to fall asleep during the trial. I mean,
but I can't imagine being a juror for a case like this, honestly.
Oh, I know.
Can
you imagine if they got a hold of your name and they found out about who you are and your family and all the stuff that these crazy people are doing to just us, let alone what they would do to the jurors? That's what's so frightening.
Well, I'm pretty sure the state police is going to have it locked down with lock and key at the hotel they're staying at, whatever floor they're on. So
let's hope so.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But Ruckus, in regards to what you said, I think you're spot on. I really do. I mean, I definitely, they can say whatever they want in front of the camera, but I believe they don't have a defense. I don't believe, whether they believe he's guilty or not, they know that there is enough evidence that they have to put him away.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I'm just saying, so I think that they're doing everything they can in their power to muddy the water, to get us not looking at him and looking at everything else, all the other things, instead of getting us focused on what we should be focusing on, which is Richard Allen and their client.
See, that brings to a good debate with anybody that's pro-defense or anybody that has questions like this in the chat. You know, me and Ruckus have had this conversation, and Kristin, on many occasions about the facts in this case. Okay? I got a message from somebody, and I'm not sure who it is because I've never seen the name before, and said, give me one piece of fact against Richard Allen in this case. And I about fucking flipped my lid when I saw that. And I said, you've got to be kidding me, right? I said, if you want me to, when I go live, we'll break down all the facts against Richard Allen. And there's no way around it.
If
and
you take all of the facts and all of the evidence and put it to a side, just look what the defense team has been doing since Jump Street. That tells you that they know that he's guilty. If he was innocent, they would not be doing all of this shit.
Right. I mean, start from fucking the 14th or the 14th. He goes and talks to Dan Doolin. Said he was at the trails. He said that he saw the 3 girls near the Freedom Bridge, but he didn't see Abby or Libby. Okay. 5.5 years later, the bullet evidence comes out, right? And they got his gun on the search warrant. So there's fact number 2 you have against Richard Allen. Number 3, his admittance when he got brought in for questioning again. He was there on the first platform. He saw the 3 girls at the bridge. And then, and coincidental, you have a witness that's seen him on the first platform of the bridge. She was standing at the north end. There's another fact. He admitted to wearing the same kind of clothing as Bridge Guy. There's another fact. And then he gets locked up and he goes to Westville first. And then it comes out that he makes admissions to his wife and his mother on 4 or 5 different occasions. There's another fact. And then just the latest that comes out that the defense brought up on their own. Another alleged 12 or dozen more confessions to inmates, to correctional officers, to the warden, to the doctors. What more do you need to prove this man is guilty?
They hear it from his own words, his own mouth to his mother, and they still want to believe that he is innocent. That tells you more about them than it does about him.
You know, and it's
their opinion. You know,
I agree. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm just saying sometimes the writing can be right on the wall in front of you, and people for whatever reason refuse to see it, don't see it, or block it out.
The Bears drafted Caleb Williams from USC.
We knew that was coming.
What a shocker.
Yeah, that's a real shock.
Sorry, guys. We're watching the draft at the same time, guys.
I think Coach Kev will keep us updated.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But, you know, getting back to the matter at hand, and then Nick McClellan, you know, he's right. All they're trying to do is sabotage everything. And we know that sabotage is intentional, to set up for appeal process. We all know this is what this is about. So why don't you just quit your shenanigans? Let's get this shit on the road, get this speedy trial, get his ass convicted, and worry about an appeal after the fact so he can go back to trial again and get convicted again. You know, I don't give a damn. You're putting the families through way too much bullshit. You know, and it just needs to end. And the pro-defense people, they need to get a grip, you know.
And they want to debate. They want to argue. They argue enough amongst themselves, if you ask me. They don't need me to jump in there.
Right, you know. And that's why I don't pay attention to none of them people, because they're not looking at facts here. They're looking around everything else that they see that could possibly be going on here as far as corruption and all that. They're not looking at the case at all. They're not worried about, they might be worried about justice for the girls, but they're sure in the hell's not showing it from what I see and hear.
And I've said before,
I'm sure they all want justice for you.
Well, yeah, but their
just-
actions show different, though. You know.
Yeah.
I think I've said it before. It doesn't, I mean, and I don't mean this in a flippant way, because it does matter if there's corruption in law enforcement. It does matter. So I don't want people to think I don't think it matters. It does. And there is corruption out there. We all know that. But I go back to the corruption that would have to be in place in the multiple jurisdictions and the multiple different levels of this case to make what they're saying true is right out of a Hollywood script. There is no way that it's the truth. And I'm sorry. I know I'm speaking to people out there that believe in the Illuminati. I get all of that. I get all of you. I do. And you're entitled to believe what you want to believe, but it's not going to happen on this level in small town Indiana, where two girls were brutally murdered, and it's all over the international news media. They will get found out. It would be too easy to be found out if that was the case.
Right. I mean, the way I look at it is the mafia. They got a pyramid, and it goes level by level by level by level by level by level till you get to the very top. I do not see this in a small town America, just like you said, Kristin.
I don't see corruption, but there's definitely good old boy.
Well, yeah, of course.
No doubt about that. But you have to look at if you have to, and I hate to use the word fabricate, but if you have to fill in gaps with unknown information, speculation, well, then you need to go back and start at the beginning again. Yeah. So what the defense is trying to make people believe is that these Odinists did it. Brad Holder, Westfall, and Elvis Fields. Okay, put them there at the bridge. You can't. They have to speculate and fabricate that. You got to go back to the beginning again. I've gone back to the beginning about 10 times already.
Now they're all talking about the malt liquor in the chat, so I got to respond to her rescue here. She said Frankmeister's hardcore for not being a drinker. Oh, I used to be a drinker. Trust me.
Me too.
Gin and juice, the malt liquor. See, you guys don't understand. I grew up pretty much in the ghetto. I ran with the people that drank the malt liquor, and the people in the clubs drank the malt liquor. That's
Colt
just
45
or malt English old English 8-ball.
Yeah,
you know. So it's nothing to me. Colt 45, woo wee, that's a strong one there. But getting back to the matter at hand, I'd had to address that. So, but yeah, like you were saying, man. I mean, everybody's got their opinions, and I welcome all opinions. And I don't disregard your opinions, but from my point of view in this case, as far as long as I've been in with what I've seen in documents and things of that nature and things that have actually been said and became fact, you can't get around. You just can't get around. It's Richard Allen, period.
Well, you can't give me an alternate suspect. I was just
going to say, who else is it?
Well, you know what they're going to say again. I mean, Patrick Westfall, Elvis Fields, Brad Holder,
Patrick Westfall is not bridge guy.
No,
absolutely not bridge guy.
He's way too tall.
He's
and
not.
Then you got Brad Holder. Look what he looked back. Look what he looked like back then.
I know.
He weighed about 250 to 260, bald head and a great big old beard. That's definitely not bridge guy.
Washington took Jaden Daniels. Patriots are going to get Drake May. That's who I want.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Does a one-legged duck swim in circles? I want to see who's going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. Because
Arizona.
I know the Colts they were talking about trading way up to try to get him. So.
Yeah, that Boone's Farm, Strawberry Fields.
Oh my
God,
that was the drink
that
too.
When you were a teenager.
Right.
Twist cap and smoke comes out of it when you open it.
What about Mad Dog 2020?
Oh God, I got so sick on that one. Oh my God. Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you know how wines usually have like 1976 or 1985. Mad Dog has Swing Shift. They just made this shit last night. That's the
Melissa,
fresh stuff.
why would you say the judge is lame? I don't get it.
Well, I want to see the trial on TV as well. I'm going, but I would want to see it on TV.
Are you taking your RV?
No. Nope.
Damn.
Oh, he was going to hop a ride.
Well, I didn't know, Biz, because he was jokingly saying that shit to me about a week ago.
Dude, I'll pick you up every morning.
From where?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Worry about why you're worried about what I'm doing.
I'm not worried about what you do because we had this discussion last week and I was asking you about it again.
If he
It's
says he'll
going to
pick
be
you
last
up,
minute.
if he says he'll pick you up, Frank, he'll pick you up.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I got to go stock up on notebooks. I know that.
Oh
my
boy,
God.
what's Kay up to? People in the chat are referring to Kay.
Kay who? Smith? Yeah, that's what they're talking
Ruckus,
about.
is Steve going to go with you?
No.
I know there's stuff going on.
I don't know if he's going or not, but I'm not going with Steve.
I don't see nothing about Kay in here yet.
Yeah, people are telling her to stop.
Yes, Piper.
She's calling people out, telling Jamie Hicks she's the female version of Little Frank W.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever. If you got a problem, man, you need to go somewhere else with that crap in my chat, Kay. We don't tolerate that shit. You're not going to sit here and talk down on my peoples like that.
Nobody talks to Jamie Hicks that way. Not
exactly.
On get away with it.
Exactly.
With
me either.
Don't play that. I know my mods are on top of it. They got too many hands in the kettle, Jamie. The defense, but they were claiming they only had 2 intern students and 2 people that was working the case with them in their office. And I'm like, why is that? Because when we go to the hearings, when they're in Delphi, you got the whole witness seats taken up behind the defense table. There's about 6 or 7 sitting there and you 2 sitting there.
Plus they got 15, 20 YouTubers with absolutely no law enforcement or legal background.
Exactly. I like Jamie. It says the defense has too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah, they sit and talk about they haven't had a chance to go through the discovery, and they just keep getting more and more discovery laid on them. What they think was going to happen in a case that's been 5 years in the making, because it was 5 years before they arrested him.
Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
If they spent more time actually working on the case than spewing the crap that they spew and writing the ridiculous motions that they write, they might know more.
Right.
Guys, just ignore Kay. I mean, 3 months ago, she was Ron Logan did it. Now she's found a different group to hang out with.
There you go.
Drake made to the Pats. Ow.
There you go. That's what you called.
I
mean, rescue. I honestly, I couldn't be a juror for this case for what I know now.
Yeah, I don't think
all
I
the
could
stuff
be
I know
either.
over the years.
I'm too emotionally invested in it, unfortunately.
Right, and they would know immediately. Nope, he's tied in with the family, so we can't allow him.
Yeah, no, I would be. They'd say the same to me, and I'd be like, yeah well, don't come at me about the family because I'll be right on you.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, just look at what the defense is doing and how many holes they're trying to plug and deflect and all of that. We know the evidence against Richard Allen. We know it's strong. He knows he's guilty. The defense knows he's guilty, and the state knows he's guilty.
Yeah, he hasn't admitted to it all those times for just the hell of it. None of it was during interrogation.
Well, if you notice now, after all of that, he already confessed to his wife and staff and all that. Well, now he's confessing to inmates that he shot the girls. He's playing that whole game.
Right. Mm-hmm. And see, I would have addressed Red Queen. She said, absolutely agree, Jimmy Hicks. Why the hell is the defense so interested in social media? You got to realize social media is so big that a lot of people are into conspiracy theories. A lot.
Yep.
And that's exactly the reason why they did this.
They can use it to their advantage.
Yep.
Because
It's
there's
another
people out
fence
there that will believe anything that they read and hear on the internet.
Right. Okay.
It's the truth.
I'm going through the chat. You guys
I got your back, Jamie. Always.
You guys could bring up, talk when I'm going through the chat. If there's something you want to discuss.
Yeah, the whole conspiracy theory and especially the corruption people. Do you know how huge this would have to be for a cover-up and corruption? You'd have to involve the FBI, the Georgia Bureau.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And for them to even think that that's possible tells me that that's somebody that's very narrow-minded, that just likes to hear themselves talk. And, listen, I'm opinionated. I'm loud. I say what I want to say. I do what I want. But we're going to see whether he's found guilty. If they find him guilty, he is guilty. If he gets acquitted, he is guilty. He just beat the system. Well, now what the people on that side of the fence are saying is, well, there's going to be shenanigans between the prosecutor and the judge. Now they're saying that they're in cahoots.
Yeah.
They're doing anything. They went from he's innocent, he's totally innocent, to the system is fucked up, to conspiracy, to corruption. Now they're worried. They're really worried. They're losing sleep over the judge pulling some fast moves and the prosecutor pulling some fast moves. Those defense attorneys are very wise, whether you like them or not.
Yeah,
they're not going to let any fast moves just go skating by. But
let me ask you,
maybe they'll televise the appeal. That'll pacify.
Let's answer Laura's question real quick. Are all three of you planning to attend the trial? We need reliable people to keep us informed. I know that me and Ruckus will be. I'm not. I'm not
going to be there because I'm active in therapy right now, and I can't miss out on my therapy. So I won't be there. But I have you guys there for me, and I trust everything that you guys will be hearing and saying and telling us. So if I need to be live when I can be during that week to try to, find what we can when we can, if, however we decide to do that is I'm good. I'm good with everything. The only thing is I will miss my 11 hours of talking to Ruckus.
About snakes and spiders.
I'm just going to miss that.
You are the spider lady, aren't you?
I am.
Oh my goodness.
I am the spider lady.
I had an old roommate that had a redback tarantula pet. No.
The whole thing would be red if it was around me. I'd squish that son of a bitch. Do they have red blood or is it green?
I don't know. I don't care.
I've never seen their blood, honestly, so I don't know.
Let one come around me. I'll take a picture of it for you. They give me the heebie-jeebies. I'm not afraid of them, but geez.
Oh, I love them. I just think they're they're just wonderful. And I love the jumping spiders. And Ruckus, the jumping spiders the ones I love live right in your neck of the woods. It's like they're just all right over outside. They're everywhere. And I'm like, I wish I was there because I could just capture a few and bring them home.
Marvin Harrison went to the Cardinals.
Oh, God.
Who did?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Now, have you ever done the flashlight trick at night with spiders? If you hold a flashlight on the side of your head at eye level and you squat down, you can see a bunch of green dots. That's their eyes. They're reflective. And you can go right up to it and use a flashlight. And some of them, we got wolf spiders too. And some of them, some bitches get big.
Oh, yeah.
I have a couple of wolf spiders.
All right.
I have a wolf spider. Hogna Miami is the scientific name, from Florida, and that is a big ass spider.
The inmates, the convicts at Union Correctional Institute used to fight them, like chicken fights and dog fights. They would fight their wolf spiders. They would keep them in little matchboxes. Yeah, and they'd trade them and buy them and sell them. And
oh my gosh, wow.
And Scout Daly says, I bet his wife knows every little thing about him, of all his pro activities and angers. And see, that that brings me back to his alibi.
He doesn't have one.
Exactly.
Get ready to say that.
What is his alibi, Frank? Tell me.
We know what the beginning of his alibi was. He was at the trails that day. We know that part, but where was your ass afterwards?
And before. He was a busy boy that day.
Yeah. Makes you wonder if he was out there earlier that morning, prior.
No, he was doing other shit.
Scoping the area out.
It's gonna be interesting to see all this shit come out and see. Out of curiosity, I want to see how the defense tries to combat that stuff.
I can't wait to hear Nick McClelland's opening statement.
Me either.
I cannot. He's going to lay it on the line, and I cannot.
I bet you they're not even allow us to have our phones in there either.
To hear it.
No.
You guys are going to hear it before I hear it. And I'm just like, I can't wait to hear what he says.
I'm going to buy some of those Google glasses just for the trial.
Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think Keegan Klein's name will be brought up in trial?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. I think the defense will bring it up if nobody else.
Right. What about his dad, Tony?
It's possible. Nothing will surprise me. Nothing about this case will surprise me.
Do you believe there was co-conspirators after the fact?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody knew. How did Elvis Fields, unless he just got real lucky guessing about the crime scene, how did he know anything about the crime scene? Because Richard Allen tried to get into that group of people.
Well,
and they told him no.
I got word a couple months ago that this is a speculation. I was never able to verify this, but according to what I was told, is that Kathy Allen's sister's husband was practicing Odinism.
Yeah, that may be how he tried to get in. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting as hell.
It is. I know that, we've all heard it. All of us have heard Doug Carter in the background of our brains when we lay down at night, talking about the tentacles and all the different things that this case has, and we're gonna get to hear it.
Biggest CSAM investigation in the history of the state of Indiana.
And Deb's right. She wants to know. So, okay, he's not the guy who committed this crime. Then what the heck was he doing between 11:30 and 6 p.m. on the 13th of February in 2017? What was he doing? Where was he? What was he doing?
I mean, see, he even changed his alibi. Think about that.
But that doesn't work. They got timestamp pictures.
Well, yeah, I get all that, but that just goes to show you that his time frame being there puts him there, and then he tries to change it prior to where he wasn't there when the girls were there. Is what I'm trying to say.
They don't.
Well, I mean, not to mention they have him on audio and video,
right? Which they're trying to get thrown out, by the way. They want Libby's video thrown out as well.
Of course they
want it all gone.
It's just like I said earlier. Like I said earlier, it's awful funny that every time Nick turns something over to them, to me, it seems like it's something that's fucking damning, and they want it out of there.
Well, there's a lot more. And the defense knows all of this too. That's what pisses me off. They're doing a good job, but it's like, little far-fetched kids,
Well, I think that they found evidence at the house.
I do too.
That absolutely ties him to the crime. And I don't think they can get away from that. So how do they get rid of that? They have to squash that search warrant.
Well, who else could they point fingers at? Because they're definitely going third person.
Well, yeah.
Right? If it wasn't the Odinist, they got Keegan, they got Ron Logan, they got Logan Maxwell. They could have went other routes. But they looked at them and said, well, no, that ain't going to work.
Right.
And they found out that they lost those interviews, recorded over those interviews, and there you go, game on.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Ron Logan's name gets tossed in the mix in this whole thing either.
Oh, he'll be brought up. Most definitely. The defense is going to bring up everybody other than Richard Allen. Be prepared. We're going to hear, I bet you we hear about Daniel Nations. I bet we're going to hear because because law enforcement looked at Daniel Nations. So they're going to bring up that. They're going to bring up Ron Logan. You know, they're going to bring up, what's his name from Lafayette?
Chad.
Kurtz?
Chad.
Oh,
Chad.
Well,
They're
it's
gonna bring up
information
him.
overload.
Chadwell.
Chadwell. They're going to bring up him. You know, they're going to bring up everybody that it could have been them. It could have been him. It could have been him. Just because you say that doesn't make it so. It's like Ruckus said, bring the tea. Where's the evidence? Put them at the crime. You got to put them in the woods with the girls.
You got to put them within a mile of it at least.
Yeah,
right.
At least,
exactly.
in the same county, for God's sake.
Yeah. But what they're going to do is they're going to overload the jury. They're going to go one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, and confuse the jury.
Right.
Confusion. And the more good points that Nick drives home, they'll throw another 20 things out there. You know, so the jury forgets about that. You know,
I think Nick is going to go for the jugular right off the bat. Honestly, I think Nick's going right at the jugular right out the gate.
Oh,
dude, he doesn't even have to stand up. He could put his feet up on the goddamn table, put his hands behind his head like this, and just say what he's got to say, and then say, "I rest my case." Let the defense try and beat that.
Yep.
He's going to have the gloves off. He's coming with everything he's got, both barrels, right from the get-go, right from the gate, and leave it up to the defense to see what they're going to do to try to sway the jury to believe something else. And I don't believe that they have a leg of anything that common sense is going to change, I guess, is what I want to say.
Well, you know what?
Common sense isn't common.
Well,
no.
Well, I can say that I have already experienced him taking the gloves off in a hearing, which was the very first one in Delphi where the defense brought up his confessions hit Westfield, and Nick said, "Game on," and the gloves came off from there.
Why
Big Fish, they do that. They all do that.
Question?
Hold on.
Yeah, could you put Big Fish's question on
there? That statement's crazy.
Hold on.
And I hope you're being facetious, Big Fish, because that's crazy.
I gotta find them.
Sorry.
You guys scroll way faster than I do.
I don't scroll.
I just keep up with the chat.
I just keep the chat up, and I read it as we talk. Sorry.
But I know, Frank, I've been in your shoes, man.
It's tough when you've got this many people. We got almost 200 people in here.
But Big Fish, that's a strategy that a lot of defense.
I see Heather.
You throw a lot of information at the jury, Big Fish. Give them something to think about. Deflect.
And they do. They only have to convince one person of Richard Allen's possible innocence or innocence.
Yep.
Only one. That's it.
Well, I missed them somewhere.
So the burden always rests with the state, and it's the biggest burden is always on the state, and that's why our justice system is set up the way it is.
Apparently, a lot of people don't understand how attorneys work. My best explanation of an attorney is a very good manipulator. The God's honest truth. Absolutely. They're a paid manipulator to twist the facts, to manipulate you into one thing when something else is actually going on.
But Big Fish, I hope they do try and present a clear and concise defense. Because they're saying that they're positive that these other folks did it. They put their names out there in the memo in support of the Franks. So it better be very clear and concise. There shouldn't be any deflection or anything like that.
Yeah, because if it's not, they've ruined these men's lives. Because they'll always
of course.
There will always be doubt in people's minds out there. There'll be a cloud that follows them. You were accused of the Delphi murders, and maybe that was true. Whether we like it or not, when you're accused of a crime in this country, you're guilty. I mean, it's just the way the public perception is. When you,
the American way.
And I will say from my law enforcement family's background, that the family members I have in law enforcement will tell you the reason is because, believe it or not, 95% of the time, they don't arrest people without good reason to arrest. They don't just go around willy-nilly picking people up and arresting them for crimes. They have to be able to prove it. They have to have evidence. So
the charges took Joe Alt. That's a surprise.
Miranda, I have yet to get what the decorum is going to be for the trial itself. Who's going to have access before the public? I don't know if they're going to do it on a lottery basis or not, because of all the hearings that I've been to, except for the Supreme Court, have not been lottery. But what I usually do,
they're trying to figure all of that out,
right?
Because when I talked to Becky a few weeks ago, we talked just briefly about the fact that how small the courtroom is, and all I told her was, in my opinion, the people who need seats in that courtroom are Abby and Libby's family.
Right. They're first row. They're
the first come, first serve people.
Right.
And it's their family members. And then over and above that, are they going to put, because just because they don't televise it on national television doesn't mean that they couldn't put a camera in there and put the media in another room or whatever. I mean, it's small. They're only going to have...
There's only 62 seats in Delphi's courtroom.
It. Absolutely, that's it. And so for this trial to be as big as it is, and like I said, there are people all over the world watching this and wanting to know what the outcome's going to be. So, Court TV, all of those national news media, they're going to want their people there. They're going to want them to get first row seating.
Right. Well, I'm working on something. Me and Kristin have been working on this, so hopefully it works out. You know what I'm talking about. So I wouldn't have to worry about it. But if it doesn't work out that way, that's why I'm usually there at the courthouse by 5 a.m. Right there at the doors as soon as they open. So.
Well, like I said, I mean, I believe Indiana is the same as most every state in the country, is that proceedings are open to the public unless they're closed due to the fact of them being juvenile cases or family court cases or whatever. Those can be closed, but everything else is open to the public, and you can go get a seat. Now, does that mean that the judge can limit? She absolutely can.
She sure can.
And because of the crazy that happened at the last court hearing because of YouTubers, blame them for why Judge Gull has made the decisions that she's made. Court TV violated the first broadcast of this case. They broke her rules of decorum for the media right off the bat.
And then you had the second hearing up there where you had two YouTubers acting like jackasses.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, let me ask you guys this, and people in the chat as well. Does anybody feel that she's not allowing cameras in there because she wants to hide the proceedings?
No. I don't believe that at all.
I don't either.
No, absolutely not. I think she would. I think because she was a judge who actually petitioned the state of Indiana to allow cameras in the courtroom, and she agreed to pilot it in her courtrooms. She was a pilot judge for cameras in the courtroom in Indiana. Yeah. So no, you can't tell me that she's a judge that doesn't want cameras in the courtroom, and she does want cameras in the courtroom. But
we all know what I'm going to do to try and get into that courtroom. But if it doesn't work, I have no problem hanging outside with the troll farm.
Gail Hurd's asking, does the defense get to see all the evidence, or will there be surprises? Typically, they're supposed to have all the discovery prior to going to trial. But there are instances where surprise discovery comes in during the trial that they would have jury out of the jury box, out of the courtroom, and they would debate it right during the courtroom to allow that new piece of evidence into the trial.
And I agree with SP 74 and Rob Lee. Cameras would encourage the defense team to put on more performances in front of the camera.
Yep, I
and
agree.
She doesn't want a mistrial, and she doesn't want anything to happen that's going to cause that. And cameras could cause that. And she doesn't want a circus. And we've said it before. You put somebody in front of a camera and they change. Their demeanor changes. Everything changes. And you can see it. And these defense attorneys and the prosecution and everybody, they're no different. If they know that that millions of people are watching them, they can put on a show.
I'm a good example of that, because when I'm not in front of the camera, I'm very quiet and reserved and unopinionated. This is all just because I'm on camera.
You need to be careful. I don't know if the lightning can strike through the roof of your sunroom or not, but you need to be careful, buddy.
Jesse asked, as Richard Allen's daughter had been showing up to support him, I wonder what his family dynamics were like before and after the murders. I can tell you for certain that she has not attended one hearing in this case, and that's a fact. The only people I've seen was Richard Allen's mother, his wife, I believe either his sister or Kathy's sister, and a couple other people.
Now, Big Fish asks a good question. Why would cameras cause a mistrial? Has that ever happened before? I've never heard of that happening. Have you guys?
No.
Due to cameras?
But you don't have a circus in other cases like this one, though. That's the difference.
Well, that Casey Anthony one was a circus.
So was OJ. They literally had a circus. They had circus performers outside the court that whole time, that whole 9 months.
Yeah, but then back then we didn't have social media, a whole lot of social media back then either.
Now it's going to be recorded. It's going to be on video.
Well, it has to be, yeah.
Right. So at some point they may release it, and
after they have
to do it unedited. So I mean, eventually we'll all see. But I want to know real time as well. I'm just like everybody else. I want to see it. But if she says no, I'm fine with that.
I am too, because you know what? Transcripts are transcripts, and eventually the transcripts for this trial will be available.
I hate transcripts.
Will you have to pay for them? You dang right you will.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, believe that.
And it's going to be expensive.
But you're talking over 10 grand.
Oh,
easy,
yeah.
Easy.
There's no tone of voice, nonverbal communication, none of that shit in the transcript.
Yeah.
And you look at the Koberger case. They allowed cameras in there, and all they did was zoom in on his face. So they stopped it. They put a stop to that when they were told not to do that to start with.
Exactly.
So, and let's face it, guys, journalists don't follow the rules. They follow what they think is going to benefit them the most. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Yeah, I don't mean that in a bad way.
It's all about ratings.
Yeah.
And Jake says the June hearing in Delphi and Fort Wayne contempt hearing, same two people were fighting. Yes, they were.
But if there's no cameras in the courtroom, there's going to be plenty outside. So there'll be plenty of three-ring circuses going on outside the courtroom, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think those same two people will show up since they were told they cannot be there?
It doesn't mean they won't show up to stand across the street or anything like that.
I think enough time has passed where, I don't think that the two of them are going to get into it again. I honestly don't. Enough time's passed, and I don't think any of them want to have that kind of stigma on them. You know what I mean? Whether it's definitely a character or out of character, it's just nobody wants that in a big case like this.
Hey, Deja Vu, trust me. On days into each day of the trial, I will be going live from my laptop. Believe that.
18 days, guys. 18 days.
Do you honestly believe? Do you?
As soon as the day's over, we go to karaoke bars.
Did you hear me?
What?
You honestly believe it'll go the full 18 days?
Yeah, and plus some.
Oh, I think
Depending
the
on how
trial
the
will.
defense.
I think the trial will be longer than what she's hoping it'll be.
Because I'm here to tell you, the defense will parade expert witnesses until the judge says that's enough.
Okay, I don't know who just called Judge Gull a bitch, but they need to be
Where
kicked
they
out of
at?
here. Deja vu.
Oh no. Here we go. I hope you guys got her.
8:00 p.m. or 8:00 p.m. They just said it.
Okay, let me go
And
back
if
up
that's
there.
who they're talking about, I don't think that's so disrespectful. You can disagree with her, but you can't call her that. You just can't.
You don't know her as a person.
Not in my
I don't
book.
understand all that.
I don't
Big Fish
either.
and I don't agree on anything, but I think she's a sweetheart. But we don't agree on anything. We have a total different outlook on every aspect of this case.
What time was that again, Kristin?
At 8
9
p.m.
o'clock your time.
Yeah.
Oh, 9 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's 8:00 my time. I'm sorry.
She's in that weirdo time zone.
I am.
The twilight zone.
It looks like somebody already got her.
Jinx
Thank
is
you
quick.
guys for whoever
Thank
did
you.
it. Thank you. I appreciate you, because when that went by, I was like, oh, did you see the smoke?
Jinx is good, man. She's good.
Jinx don't play.
No.
She quit school when she found out they had recess. She don't play.
You can call me that all you want to, but you don't get to call a sitting judge who has all of this experience that to me, it's just absolutely disrespectful. You don't know her. Just because she's a woman and she's a strong woman doesn't make her a bitch. I'm so sick of that mentality in this country. I'm sorry.
And she's on the short list for the Supreme Court. The very short list.
Yes, she is.
The truth and justice said it perfectly. I like her, and obviously the Supreme Court does too.
Yep.
What's up, Brad?
Brad, I don't see him anywhere. Oh, I see him. What's
Outside
going on, Brad? Yeah, I got him.
He's got to bring Antonio out for the trial.
Oh, really?
That's cool.
I haven't seen Antonio in a while. Have you
Hi,
guys
Brad.
seen his altar image?
No.
It's hilarious.
I'm going to
He likes to put
guys.
people in headlocks and give them.
Yes, Librato likes her too. And,
yes.
Librato, you got to remember, these attorneys have to practice in front of her for other cases. They have
These
to be
two
careful.
Don't. Yeah, these two don't.
No, these two don't. But the other, Librato and those guys did, because they were appointed out of Allen County. They're not going to say anything horrible about a judge that they have to go in and practice in front of every day. You do not want that kind of a relationship with the court.
Him being friends with her on Facebook, it wasn't a good look.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm surprised she had a Facebook, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just reading through the chat. Sweet peas in the house. Wow.
My law enforcement family members and my best friend's husband, who's a judge, they don't have any social media. Any. They're if they are on social media, they're alternate. You know what I mean? They're an alternate personality. You would never know that it was them, because not only just because it's not a good look for you, but you got to be careful about what you say. People can find out who you are and threaten you and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
No, they don't do any of that.
But the thing about it is they've got away from one thing. We all have to agree on that, right?
Yep.
Amen, brother.
Absolutely. Those two precious, beautiful, absolutely wonderful girls that were out there just enjoying the day.
You got these pro defense people. I don't know what their thinking is. They might be I understand they want justice for Abby and Libby, but the way you're coming across, you're putting them on the back burner for your own egos. And you need to do a reality check on that and say, hey, this case and these girls is more important than me, which in my case it is.
It doesn't have anything to do with us.
Exactly. I mean, they didn't even get a life. They hadn't even started living life yet.
They got made pancakes that morning. Stop and think about that. Homemade pancakes.
Their dad made
were Libby's dad. Derek made them. Homemade pancakes. You know, they were treated with the greatest love in the morning, you know, wanting them to have a really warm, home-cooked breakfast by her dad, you know, and they were so loved, and they had so much going for them and so much ahead of them. They did not obviously deserve what happened to them, but the person who's responsible for this most definitely deserves justice and have to pay for the crimes that they committed that day. Period. Whoever it is.
Now, you folks that have followed this
that they
from
have
day
the
one,
right guy.
to the people that followed this from day one, did you ever expect it to get like this?
Oh God, no. God,
Honestly, no. I mean, it was just a hassle as it was prior to Richard Allen being arrested, trying to figure out which way to go in this case, you know.
When everything blew up with the Kleins, when Keegan Klein's name was first mentioned, and the Anthony Schatz profile was first mentioned, and Murder Sheet came on the horizon, I thought, my God, where are we going with this case? And how could they possibly let this guy run around for all these years with all this CSAM knowledge and not arrest him? And we all went down those rabbit holes and all looked at that stuff. And I'm still not saying 100% that they're not somehow involved in all of this. We will find out.
18
but all
days.
I'm saying is, my God, did we think that this was going to go this direction? No, I've always felt, honest to God, I can say this 100%. My family knows it and everything. I've always said he was local. He lived there. He was living under the radar, right under their noses. I firmly believed that.
They had us attached to Keegan Klein so bad, they were looking in another direction, and that's what just kind of messed up the YouTube community for a while.
Well, law enforcement was playing it smart.
Right. I get that. You know, but once it all
happy with the fact that social media was off on all of these different people and looking at all of these different suspects and, focusing on all that. But it's like I said before, Ruckus, Brad Holder and them, their names were not new to me. This was looked into back in 2018.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there were tons of people on Reddit that were deep diving these guys.
Hell,
they're very interesting. But like I said, back in 2017, they were interesting. In 18,
even in 2021 and 22, when Logan's name got brought up about him dating Abby, then we got back on the Brad Holder situation again.
Yep.
Dude, you got a great super chat from 63 Clocks.
Thank you, 63 Clocks. Let me get her up here. I know she's down here somewhere.
Yeah, just go to Starred.
I got it.
And I still believe, absolutely.
Thank you, 63 Clocks.
Still believe that that the same scenario is what's going on in Evansdale. I believe that perpetrator is local.
Chances are, I would imagine so, yes.
We're working on it, babe.
I know you are.
And she donated, and I want to thank everybody once again who donated to the Jordan Soper Memorial Cross and the flowers that we took out there last week. It was really appreciated. It was a wonderful time out there, guys. Beautiful day.
You guys did such an amazing, amazing thing. And that cross is so beautiful. And I know that, you did it out of the goodness of your hearts to do that. And it wasn't for recognition or anything, but, just stop and think of what that means to her family. To know that there's a memorial out there and that somebody still remembers her and still thinks about her.
I sent a message. I sent a message to a couple of people I got contact with through Peru to send a message to the family that there's a video of it being placed out there. If they want to take a look, go take a look, So, but once again, we have to give the props to Rescue All Dogs, honestly, because she really is the one who put it all together and got all the money raised.
She's an amazing woman. and
she
her
handled
husband. They're just amazing people. And until you meet her, you don't really get the real gist of who she is until you do meet her.
Right.
Her heart is bigger than all get out. I mean, I just love her to death. Can't say enough about her.
And then we have Jinx. She was with us, and she was with us and helped us place everything, you know. And I want to thank her too, because she got the word out prior to us going out there. If anybody wanted to show up, they could have. But you know what? With us three out there, it really showed the unity in the community that we have to remember people that have lost their lives, and there's nothing there for them to remember if anybody wants to go out there and take a look, you know.
There was a bunch of us that were there with you, Frank. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
that was awesome of you guys to do.
And I got Piper's Dream. Frank, hope this will buy you a cup of coffee while at trial. Thanks, appreciated, man. $9.99 super sticker.
Awesome.
And Chicago's on the clock, and there's plenty of receivers left.
Let's see. We're going through
Who's
the chat.
Who's on the clock?
The
Chicago?
Bears. Yeah.
Is this the 13th pick?
No, the 9th. There was
the
a trade.
9th.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they traded.
Harvey Carroll. That.
Good
oh
Lord.
my God. Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Right.
Don't get me started.
He is the biggest Reddit troll there is.
Good Lord Almighty.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Now, what I'm curious about is with all this motion going on right now, Nick is turning in as much discovery as he can. He only has 8 more days. You can only turn over new evidence that you're going to use in trial up to 10 days before the trial's slated to start.
Right.
Now, the judge can they have to have a sidebar, and both sides have to agree, which I can't see. But so he's trying to get everything in now, and the defense is trying to stall now.
Kelly
thank you, Kelly O.
Kelly O, 10 gifted memberships. Check
awesome. Thanks, Kelly O.
Check your inboxes, people. Thank you, Kelly O. Much appreciated.
All right, the Bears got Odunius. Yeah, from Washington.
From Washington.
It's funny because Michael Penix, his quarterback, got picked by Atlanta, and then the next pick was his receiver.
Wow.
Going to the Bears. Big kid.
I'm still debating if they're going to do a continuance or not. But see, the more and more that we get closer to trial date, and she has not ruled on any motions that they've filed, it's more than likely not there's going to be a continuance.
Kelly O, gifting those 10 memberships might have just got you LA's phone number.
And just because she doesn't rule on a motion doesn't mean anything, because she doesn't have to rule on a motion. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
She doesn't have to rule on a motion. There's nothing written in stone that she has to rule anything or come back and make any comment about a motion. The motion is to put whatever a party, whether it be the defense or the prosecution, is on the record for the case. That's how they get it into the record, so that if there ever is an appeal, that happened. This happened. This is what we said to the court.
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Boss, I think there's going to be a continuance, and then they're going to work a plea deal.
Derek got up to make pancakes that day. Yes, he did. 9:30, 10 o'clock that morning. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker.
Then he went out to work for Becky, taking some pictures.
Yep.
Well, guys, we've been here about an hour and 10 minutes. We're about to wind it up here shortly.
I love spending time with you two. I just want you to know.
I still got a little cigar left. I figured this would be a 1 cigar show.
Oh, so he's not ready to leave yet.
No, and he's drinking his bourbon too. Well, no, his scotch.
No, Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey. Now, what did you say? What's his name is going to send me a bottle of what?
Jameson.
Oh my God.
He already sent it. Not going to.
Well, how does he know what my address is?
He's sending it to me.
Oh.
And then I'm going to send it on to you. And he got one for Mike Patty as well. And he put a personal note on each bottle, one for you and one for Mike Patty.
Awesome.
It's my Irish friend from Ireland.
That's so awesome. I love that. I absolutely love that.
He's a good guy.
This account, when does she decide about contempt? She doesn't have to decide about contempt until the trial is over.
And I believe that's what she's waiting on.
She's going to do anything on contempt until after.
I would have to agree.
She doesn't want to blow everything out of the water right now, and I just don't see that happening.
She doesn't want to stall the proceedings any longer by replacing them so these other attorneys could jump in and try to catch up.
And the judge in Westman's case is waiting until she decides on that contempt before he hears Westman's case.
Yeah, exactly. And if, you know, she knows what she's doing. This isn't her first day on the block. She knows how to run a trial, and I believe she knows how to run a trial this big. I think she's doing a fabulous job. Has she been perfect? No. There's no perfect people out there. You know, but I definitely think that the things that have happened can be pointed at other people other than the judge in this case. I don't think it's her fault for things. I think they've led themselves to where they are. If they feel slighted in any way, shape, or form, it's because of what they've done, you know?
Right.
The Jets are on the clock. I hope they don't take Brock Bowers. We'll have to.
I heard. Are you talking about from Georgia? Because the Colts were looking at him too.
Yeah, New England will have to cover him twice a year.
And now they're tying him to that receiver from Florida.
There's a bunch of good receivers.
18 days, Aspen says, you got it, buddy. 18 days. And we're counting. And I'm just
Aspen, are you going to the trial, Aspen?
Let me get here real quick. If anybody wants to donate to help for the trial, my stay up there, whatever's going on, and for our foods and stuff like that while we're up there, you're more than welcome to donate to the Cash App straight to a fund. I've already set it up. I've got a couple $100 in there already, so hopefully I can get enough money together where I could just stay up for the next 2 weeks. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So
we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Hey, 63 clocks. Thank you so much. I am working really hard. Therapy, like I said, kicks butt. But I'm here to tell you guys, you got to do the work. You got to do the work if you want to get anything out of it. And I am so far ahead. I do not hurt like I did before surgery. I was in god awful pain before surgery. So I don't hurt like that. Right now, all I have is the surgical pain from the incision. When that's gone, I think I'm going to be really good.
Thank you, this account, for the 99 super sticker. Yeah, I know what you mean, Kristin, because like I said, when I had that cervical spine surgery, it took me nearly 30 days to be able to walk again. And that really sucked.
Oh, God, yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean, I understand if a man's got to go to the bathroom, he usually stands up and does his thing. But when you have to sit like a woman just to go pee, and then having to change your own bedpan when you're at home and all that.
Dude, I'm too old to do that. My nuts would hit the water.
Whatever, dude.
Thanks for that visual. My God, I lived without that visual.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, take that to bed with you. Sweet dreams.
Hey, that ought to tell you something. His nuts are hanging out low because look at where his dick is at now on the screen.
Oh my God. You guys always make me laugh.
Bye, big fish. Nothing but love for you, babe.
Later,
We
haters.
can agree to disagree, and we can still be civil and have respect for each other. There's nothing wrong with that. That's where it should be.
Exactly.
This account says as you get older, they get longer.
they start to sag more.
I have to be careful on the motorcycle. Sometimes I sit on them.
Oh my God.
God.
What is a button on a fur coat?
Oh no.
That's a little tiny peepee.
I get in trouble. For asking questions that are put in the chat. That was from Coach Kev, by the way.
Oh my God.
I'm Irish. When it's cold out, it looks like a belly button and a walnut shell.
Man, I look like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle when it's fucking cold.
Yeah. Yeah, they say just whip it out. Shit, it won't even look out. I got to stick my finger in my ass and yell snake.
Oh.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh,
All right, this just
Lord.
went from PG to
I definitely can't
Exactly.
monetize this shit.
Oh my God. Let's bring it
Oh.
full circle,
You
boys.
sure can.
I
Have you
can't,
heard me in LA?
Full circle.
I cannot monetize this one.
Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. And then
Oh
Kev,
my
you know, he's sitting
God.
back there. He's just laughing his
Hey,
butt
he's the
off.
one that started the whole damn
He started
thing.
it all with his little comment.
He's an instigator.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, not Kev.
Yeah, firefighters don't instigate anything.
Nothing.
All right, this account. Thanks for the super chat, $10. Great time when we get silly here. Yes, I mean it's not all about being serious all the time, guys. We just come together and enjoy the company and have a chat, make each other laugh. You know, sometimes you got to do that to release all that. You just can't have all this hatred and whatever you want to call it between amongst each creators or subscribers or people in the community. You just can't, because if you do, you're going to end up driving yourself crazy.
I make Drew laugh, and he appreciates
that's
that.
awesome. You did well. I love that. I love that you hit it off with him and that you're able to bring joy to his life.
He's a good man.
Yeah,
GP, thank you for the super sticker $4.99. But
hey, Aspen, you're awfully quiet out there, buddy. Did you answer Ruckus? He asked if you were going to come for the trial. I don't know if you heard him or not. Aspen would be great to have there as well.
Yes,
he said he might get a single room. I said, well, is there any room for me? He's like, I don't want to piss off your wife or your side piece. Because Prof said that I'm sleeping around on my wife.
Oh my God, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't. Oh my God.
And I would never cheat my wife. I would never cheat my wife. I give her all 3 inches anytime she wants it.
Oh,
I wouldn't cheat her.
That pinky. You give it the dinky pinky.
He said he's going to be in the area for most of May. Are you kidding? And you didn't tell me?
Really? He's going to be to 500, isn't he?
Oh, the Jets traded with Minnesota. Minnesota took J.J. McCarthy.
Aspen, are you coming?
Alabama boy, huh?
No, Michigan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good move by the Vikings and the Jets. The Jets are still going to get Brock Bowers.
What do you think they're going to do to old Aaron Rodgers, man?
Nothing. They're going to let him play.
Well, you know, all that shit is swirling around about him, about his rehab.
Nah, he'll be fine. Nobody wants to not watch him play this year.
Right.
He's worth too much to the NFL. It's like Brady. Brady could do whatever the hell he wanted.
Right.
He filled stadiums.
Well,
but
Deb,
all right, guys.
Kidnap him. You better let me know because I want to get to see him.
All right, guys. We're about an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to head and close it down for the night. I want to thank my guests, Ruckus and Kristin, for joining us tonight to have a good conversation and a few laughs to try to perk up some of the community. I want to thank my mods. You did a fabulous job tonight. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. And
thanks for
all the people that contributed to support the live show tonight, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll all three be in contact with each other again in the next day or two. So until next time, guys, thank you so much.
Good night.
You know what time it is.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Peace
out. Be safe,
out.
you guys. Love you both.
One love. Love you guys.
Bye.
Good night, guys.